I work for the BBC. I'm a business presenter of a Africa business show called BBC Money Daily, and we share our content across Africa with partner stations. I also have a keen focus on economics and trade, and especially the Horn region, where I trace my ancestral roots to. Born and bred here in Kenya, I also am a lawyer by training. So I've been following the development in Somalia for quite a while. I have extensively covered the debt relief process, and I'm still actively involved in it. So we've reported on the debt relief process and Somalia economic updates, and Somalia's rebuilding for a while. And because of the BBC, we have a huge Somali audience and Somali TV and radios, we especially pay a keen attention to all the business and economy development on Somalia. About my World Bank interaction, I have interviewed a number of high-profile World Bank people, including the immediate former interim World Bank president, Kristalina Georgieva. I've also interacted and interviewed the Africa chief economist, the World Bank Africa chief economist, Mr. Albert Zifak, and among other people that I've closely worked with. So that is me. If there's any other thing that maybe any of you would want to find out, I'm more than happy to answer that.
Thank you.
Okay, let me explain it to him. Hassan, do you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Link you mahaysatiin link ala idiin soo diray link
We get the link. We are
Okay.
on test. So we are technical team.
No maya linkiga click garee tijaabi inuu kuu furmaa intaas lagaa rabaa.
For me, it's working. I can get to it.
I think we're back on. Waraaba Maxamed ma ku shaqeynaya adiga?
Warsama.
Ma ku shaqeynaa?
No, maya.
Hassan adna?
It looks to be back on.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, it's working now. It's working.
Yeah.
Now it's okay.
Now it's working.
Yeah, we need to find out why it was frozen.
Yeah, for my side, it's really okay.
Okay, it's working for both sides.
And it's very clear from my side. I don't know about Dr. It's extremely clear on my cell phone.
ضغط معانا.
Warsame, could you confirm if it's clear on the group job side?
Hassan Mohammed clear me دنكين هذا وراه إلى هذا.
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah, it's clear now.
أيوة هذا.
Thank you, Warsame. Vera, maybe we can confirm if they can stream this as well, because the engagement needs to be still in two fronts.
Yeah, Warsama أنا حقيقي okay حقيقي.
Okay.
So for my side, it's really okay. It's nice. I can see you. I can hear you well. I'm good.
Okay, so now the question, Mohammed, for you and Hassan is, are you able to use this YouTube link to broadcast? That's the first question. And the second question is that, is it possible to have a second laptop in the studio with a HDMI cable, which you can use for broadcasting live, or you're not able to do that. So Wasame and Ismahan, if you can help us out on this one.
Xasan linkigan suu kugu yahay midda kale haddii uu linkiga wax ka jiraan ma kula tahay inaa helaysiin link maxaa la yidhahdaa laptop kale oo aad ku xiri kartiin HMDI ka qaadi kartiin qadka
horta linkan waa fiican yahay hadda waa isticmaali karaa waa lagu podcast gareyn karaa live streamka marka la isticmaalayo
Yeah, for myself it's good. Was somewhere.
I think they said the link is fine. It's working fine. It probably has been there are some issues from the link itself, but internet-wise they're okay.
Okay, so we are good to broadcast via TV and also to pull this on your Facebook live page. Hassan, Muhammad?
We broadcast both TV and Facebook. Also.
Okay, the question is, are you able to do that efficiently?
Yeah, we will.
Okay. Does anybody else have questions? I'm still a bit nervous about this one.
Yes, Vermeer, I have a question because there's still the issue of the presenters, the moderator from the TV side. Which laptop is he going to use? Is it the one that he's currently having? Because we just need to farm that one up as well.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
where
the one
he will be located.
Yeah, the one he's currently using. He's the one he's
So the two laptops will be in the studio so that you can pick the clean stream and put it on Facebook Live and also on TV, and then the presenter will have a laptop which he's speaking to, and it's the one we are looking at now, or which one is it?
and let me clarify. The presenter use the current laptop he's using now, and the TV will use another computer which will broadcast to YouTube.
Oh, okay. So it's not here today, the laptop that the presenter will use.
The presenter use no, he's using the one he's using now. He will use.
So let me clarify that, for me, I'm using the one I have right now, and the second one will be here at the day we are broadcasting the program live. But right now I'm using this one. You get that?
Yeah, your sound is clear, your picture is very good. So if we can just confirm that this is the one, for instance, because this is a very good picture.
Yeah,
We
this
can,
is the
if
one.
this is what the presenter uses, that's fine. And then we can also confirm one more that will be like the one, is it Hassan using, that he's using, that will be used for the picture. And they both need to have clean connections for picking the stream and also for the voice from the presenter, because this one is right now okay for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think we still have an issue here that needs to be clarified. I'm sorry. This has to be really detailed and we have to get it, perfect. There's no way we can drop the ball. It's not a question of if or, we will. So you have a laptop, Mohammed. You're seated in the station, in the studio. This is the exact laptop and the exact connectivity that you are going to use. So that's good. The picture is perfect. We are very happy with that. The second issue is the second laptop. Will it also be in the studio with you, picking the feed, or will it be in another room? Because where Hassan is sitting, the connectivity is not good. The picture is not clear.
Yeah, That's a good question, friend. Let me to consult with Hassan on that question, on that issue. But I think if we are trying to use two laptops in the same place in the studio, I think that will be perfect. But let me to consult with the technical team and Hassan if we can use different places or in the same place. Let me ask Hassan. 1 minute.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. So I guess Hassan.
Vera, in the meantime, I can clarify why the YouTube link stopped. We got an explanation from Augustine.
لكن waxay ka hadlayaan meesha la fariisanayo waxay leeyihiin meeshaas
xasan codka xirta gooni iskula hadla meesha annaga wada maqlaynaayo gooni codka xirta gooni isku taga gooni u hadla laba laptop waa lidin karaa meesha laba laptop soo dhigta aadoo salaam.
Sorry, can you hear me, Vera?
Yes, go ahead, Vincent.
Yes, I just wanted to confirm from Augustine why the YouTube link had stopped. It's because I was assigned the host and I didn't have a license. So he had to take it back himself since he has the license, and that's why it continued. So this is something we need to tweak up for the main event. So at least we know why it stopped. Thank you, Augustine.
Okay, thank you very much. At least we know where the problem was. Yeah, if the two of you can sort that out over the next week or so, and maybe, you know, internally we can just do another very quick test to make sure that it's working fine, even just amongst ourselves. It looks like GoogJog is able to pick it up, which is good, but we need to figure out the kinks ahead of that. Meanwhile, let's wait and hear whether they're able to get a second laptop into that studio, because the picture from the studio is excellent. I'm not too sure about the feed from where Hassan was seated. It's not clear, and it's not a chance I'm willing to take. So let's see what they say when they get back. I think for me, that's the thing that we really need to sort out. And then I saw John Vander share the presentations. Maybe once we figure out the connectivity issues, we can quickly see how that works, and then we'll be good to go. The last question I have for Catherine and John, do you have Matthias's presentation? Not that it matters now, but you will have to get that sooner rather than later, and just to be sure Vincent and Wycliffe have it. Over.
We don't have Matthias' presentation, but we will have only one big presentation, so that we'll stop and then you just continue. So we'll have one continuous presentation.
Excellent. I think that will work really well. Wycliffe, Vincent, is that okay with you guys? One presentation, and once John finishes, he will stop and invite Matthias to speak, and then Matthias, and you know, you will continue showing the same presentation.
I think that's fine. I think it should work well. I have no problem with that.
Excellent. I'm so envious of your connectivity, Wycliffe. We need to talk, because I would love to have that level of clarity.
Okay.
Okay, Mohammed, you have some news for us?
Yeah, I'm back, friend. Thank you so much. We had some consultation with Hassan, and Hassan told me that we're using two different laptops in the same place. But I think the first one is the one I have right now, and the second one, the one he has, and then we will use it in the studio, I think.
Okay, so can I make a suggestion? Since we still have quite a bit of time, is it possible for Hassan to bring that laptop into the studio, connect it, and let's see how the feed works? Is it possible? We are willing to wait another 5 or 10 minutes for you guys to get that ready.
At this moment?
Yes.
Hassan, misku imaan kartaa adigii iyo wiilka kale?
Yeah, welcome. waa fahmay laakiin de haddii live feedka la sameynayo computerka in studio hadda keeno si loo tijaabiyo saas way soma
I will join our studio.
Okay.
From the studio.
Okay. Okay, excellent. We'll give you some 5 minutes to get situated, Hassan.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Ismahan.
You're welcome.
I think we can all sleep easy if we know that this will work well.
Vera, what I would like to understand is while the WebEx is ongoing, will the YouTube channel also be released at the same time? So they're okay.
I think so, but that's a question for Wycliffe and Vincent.
They will both be live at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But on that question, let me ask something. If at the same time that YouTube and webcam are live, will be live, I mean, is it affected to me as a presenter? I mean, to make a double force as echo, isn't it?
No, they will not be an echo because for the second computer you will have in the studio, my assumption is that you will have the microphone on mute. That's just to pull the feed out of what is already going into WebEx. So that particular laptop dedicated for the feed has to be muted at all times. It's your computer where you will be muting and unmuting based on whether you are speaking or not. But Wycliffe and Vincent, maybe you can confirm that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you.
That's correct. We just need to pick the picture and the sound from the YouTube stream. So the second one will not need to have the mute, the microphone on.
Wycliffe, will we have the chance to try it out today, please?
Do you have the laptop close by?
That's what we're waiting for Hassan to do. I think he's coming to the studio to sit with Mohammed, and then we can try it out so that we are sure. That's a very good question.
Okay.
Again, just to confirm that all panelists must have their video on for the event. It's very important, and Augustine keeps reminding me to emphasize this to everybody.
Okay. Ismahan, did you hear that? I think that's aimed at you, Vincent, as being very polite.
Hi, Vera. I thought I was on the panelist. But the names that you listed, I wasn't one of it.
I think you are.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect.
so I'll have my photo on. Okay, okay, thank you.
It's just good for the presenters when the questions are asked for viewing for everybody, even after they look at the video for records purposes. It will look nicer.
Well noted, Vincent.
And Ismahan, now I can confirm that I have seen you in the office. You remember we spoke the other day and I said I didn't know you?
I thought so too. I mean,
yes,
I know the person, I know the name, but I can't connect the two.
Yeah, I told her that maybe when I see her photo, I will know whether I know her. So I bumped into her because we sit on the same floor.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
We bumped
Welcome
each other.
aboard.
John, good to see you again in person and good to see you all in person, actually.
Thank you, thank you.
So lovely to see you.
Likewise, Vera, likewise, yeah.
Yeah, maybe because she's always on the 14th. She's a very good client of ours on the 14th floor. You should have asked me.
Oh.
I'll still need your support now with the other laptop. Thank you.
And you're welcome. You're welcome to get it. Thank you.
Yeah, IT has to know everybody in the building because that's our first stop normally, right?
Vera, you
Is
mute?
Hassan?
Yeah. Are they back? I can't see them. Interesting. I can't see. I can only see yourself, Ismahan, Catherine, and Vincent on my screen.
He's
Hassan,
back.
can you say something?
Very clear as well. You're still muted. Hassan, please unmute.
Hassan hadal.
warsame taleefanka xasan ma haysaa si aan u wacno.
Actually texting him WhatsApp, so I don't think he can hear us.
Vera, maybe try the grid view. You will be able to see everyone.
Thank you, Catherine. I learn something new every day. Let me just text Mohammed.
Vera, I think this one even works out well for us because we just need one laptop to be muted and the other one to be the one for the presenter, moderator from the TV station. So if we can just isolate which ones, then this one works well for us.
Hassan, I think, is talking to himself.
Does anyone have his number so that maybe I can call him? Or...
He's online on WhatsApp, but not responding.
So you guys, Hassan, excuse me, Hassan is trying to talk to you. I think he has a technical problem. Just wait a minute.
Okay. He has to unmute.
Yeah, no, I don't know. So let me ask him. I will let you know soon.
Augustine, did you mute him? Because you can check if the host muted him, then it will be.
Yeah,
He won't be able to unmute.
Wow, the quality of the video from Hassan is amazing.
Very true, very true.
Is everyone okay?
Except Hassan, everyone is okay.
Okay, I can confirm he's not muted by the host.
Yeah.
It's a technical problem on his side.
So I think our technical man is trying to fix. So
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, he's back.
Yay, he's back. Hi, Hassan.
How you doing? No,
We can
okay,
hear
I think
you now.
no, I think I'm okay.
Oh, the video quality is excellent.
That's the link we will use for the main event.
Yeah.
Yay! This is great. Can everybody see Hassan clearly?
Yeah, looks great.
Hassan, so
Very
do I.
nice. Yeah. Go.
Excellent. So, Hassan, I think Vincent can walk you through this, and Ismahan and Osame, maybe you can help us just make sure that they're clear on this. For this video, the computer that you're using, the laptop you're using now, we will need you to have it muted the entire time. And it's the one that we are going to pull the feed from. So it can just stay on mute and no one needs to worry about it. Maybe somebody can just look at it. And also the camera will need to be off. Okay, for this particular one. But Wycliffe and Vincent, can you confirm that?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I think we confirmed that, yeah.
Okay, so you will,
That's true,
you
Vera.
will, yeah, you will mute
We-
the microphone and you will mute the video.
Yeah.
Yes, so that there is no
This we
input
will use
coming
only
in.
for broadcasting, yeah.
Yes, excellent. So we are clear on that. And then Muhammad, you will have your video on at the studio and you will unmute when you're speaking, and then when you're not speaking, you can mute. Okay, and then now we can maybe go over the program. So what we have planned is that we all need to be logged in by 8:30 in the morning. Okay, and this is to allow IT to sort out, and our other support teams to sort out any connectivity issues so that we can go live by 8:50. So 10 minutes to 9, Mohammed, you will go live on the studio, or alternatively, you can go live at 9:55. Sorry, 8:55, I'm sorry. 8:55, so you have 5 minutes. You can either speak in Somali or in English. It might be preferable that you speak to your audience in Somali so that they can understand, right? Maybe you can do that for the 4.5 minutes. Talk a little bit about what we are going to do. And I'm happy to work with you on that. You and I had discussed that. So it just needs to be a one-pager write out, nothing more than that. And you will introduce the Somalia Economic Update to your audience, welcome them, and then at 9 o'clock on the dot, you will hand over to us. And it might be Hudayfa who will be hosting this. Is Hudayfa still on?
Yes, I
Hudayfa?
am. Yes, yes,
Okay.
I am.
He's on. He's on.
Okay, excellent. So Hudayfa and I spoke about this earlier today. So Hudayfa, this is the point at which you will take over and you will go through what the Somalia Economic Update is, what this edition will focus on, and obviously you will welcome your audience as you always do right off the bat, and welcome them to the launch of the Somalia Economic Update. Talk very briefly about what the Somalia Economic Update is, the fact that it looks at the short and medium term performance of Somalia's economy and offers policy options for the government and other policymakers to consider. And then you will welcome Alan Dennis, who is the acting country manager for World Bank Somalia. We will be sure to send you the agenda. It might be revised or not, but we'll make sure you have that at hand. Alan Dennis will speak for about 3 to 5 minutes. He'll make the opening remarks, and then he will invite the Minister for Finance, Dr. Bailey, to make the keynote speech. After Dr. Bailey speaks, you will thank both Alan and him, and then you will highlight 2 or 3 issues that they talked about, and then you will introduce our next speaker, who is the lead author of the report, Mr. John Randa. And at that point will be your cue, Wycliffe and Vincent, to put up the presentation. And John will speak about the macro side of the report. He will highlight the impact of COVID and make the policy recommendations. When he's done, he will hand over back to Hudayfa. Hudayfa will then thank John and maybe recap 3 or 4 key issues that John spoke about. Then he will introduce the co-author of the report, who is Matthias now. And Matthias will take us through the security sector reforms and the policy options. When he's done, he will hand back over to Hudayfa, who will recap the key takeaways, and then now invite the audience to ask questions. Now, at this point, I think it would be important to highlight the fact that people can use the chat function, and I should have mentioned this previously. Hudayfa, it's really important at the beginning of the session, before you invite Alan, right after you've given the overview of the Somalia Economic Update, to have some housekeeping issues. Mention the World Bank Twitter handle for Somalia, the group jog one, the Facebook Live, and that we are also live on YouTube. And invite people to leave their comments on the group jog Twitter handle, and they can do that in English or Somali. Wasame and Ismahan will be monitoring those. And if there are any questions in Somali or in English, they will use the chat function here to drop those questions so that you can ask them during the Q&A session. Okay? So during the Q&A session, we will use the chat function to ask questions. And please manage this very, very tightly, because we only have 2 hours that we are paying for. We have to finish at the top of the hour at 11 o'clock. And after all, I think what we should ideally aim for is you take 3 questions at a time, okay, and then direct them to the different speakers. So if the question is for the macro part, John can take those. If it's on the security sector reform, Matthias can take those. If there are overall questions that are directed to the government, if Dr. Bailey will still be available, then you can direct those questions to Dr. Bailey, right? And then if there are overall questions about World Bank key engagement in Somalia, Alan can take those or John can take those. So 3 questions per session, and then the speakers can respond, then you take another 3 questions. It's okay to be done earlier. So if there are not enough questions during the Q&A, before we get to 11 o'clock, it's okay to also close this session. But you're very familiar with handling events, so I'm sure you'll manage this just fine. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take them or clarifications. Or if I missed anything, please. Oh, thank you, Hudayfa.
None from my end. I mean, that's pretty clear. About the other things that was between the 2 of us, we'd handle it with sidebar, but nothing for now.
Okay, excellent. John, you will have to put money aside. I'll make sure I draft Hudayfa's TOR before I leave, so that we have that on there in case we use his services. Then we make sure we pay him. So I hope you have budget.
This budget, we don't have problem with money.
See, money, people. I love this. Thank you.
Question maybe to Wycliffe and as Wycliffe, we have this, the invites go to government, the full government, FGS, FMS, and we may have senior people, I'm talking of ministerial level. How will that be handled? And maybe for you, Vera. Yeah, when they attend, it's not only Bailey because the invite is to government and they may show up. They usually show up.
To show up, yes.
Yeah.
And that's common across most African countries. I think what needs to happen, Catherine, John will be really preoccupied with focusing on the presentation, and so will Matthias. So maybe if you can liaise with Wycliffe and Vincent so that as people join, if you see we have a key government official who might want to speak, then we need to let Wycliffe and Vincent know so that they are added as panelists. And they are able to do that as soon as the meeting starts. Then that way, if those people need to speak, then they are able to just unmute and speak. Would that work?
Can I get help from the Somalis in the room? Ishmahan and Wasame, I'm looking at you. I may not, the names are so common. I may not know who is who from Jubaland or, Puntland. Yeah.
I think that
But
you
I'm
can
happy to
help
do
you.
that. Yeah. Okay.
Catherine, I'll be more than happy to help you on that one. We can also have a side meeting on the list of the participants, and then therefore I can divide them into the FMS states that they're representing, and then I can help you with the formalities of who is who, and if there's a language needed, if translation is needed, then I'll be able to also help you out on that one.
Just to alert you, this invite goes from Ministry of Finance, from federal government, so we may not have exact who is coming. So, yeah, I'm just mentioning this that you're not surprised on the D-Day.
Okay.
But it goes. The invite comes from Ministry of Finance. They send to the rest of government, and we have ministers showing up in the event. So, yeah.
May I also suggest another option, Catherine? And this is up to you or Sami and Ismahan to consider. It might help if you also liaise with, what's his name? Nur Omar or Omar Nur within the Ministry of Finance. He's the special assistant to the minister. He can also help you identify who are some of the senior people, because he's the one who will probably, actually I was given the name of the guy. Let me just tell you, the ribbon gave it to me yesterday. And I can share it with the three of you. I also need to share it with IT. His name is Dubad. Dubad. He works with the Ministry of Finance, and he's the one who will be logging in the minister. So he can also help with that.
Yeah, he's a
Sorry?
personal assistant to the finance minister. Dubat.
Excellent. Excellent. What would I do without you, Asami? So yes, I'll share his email address to the four of you, Vincent, yourself, Catherine, Ismahan, and Wasame. Vincent, this is the guy you need to reach out to for connectivity, with the connectivity details. And then the three of you could work on identifying the dignitaries and making sure that Vincent knows, so that they can be listed as panelists. Would that help? Okay, excellent.
Vera, I wanted to say two things. One, it's good that we log at 8:30 so that if there is technical glitch, we can resolve them before 9 o'clock. And I think that is important, just as from today. From today's experience, the virtue of coming early is very important before 9, so that everything, if there's any hiccup, we resolve them before 9 o'clock. Secondly, our IT, I wanted to see how the presentation will show up on that day. That is clear. Is it possible to show some, just project the slides, and then we see how?
Possible, yeah. Vincent has it. Vincent, just go ahead and project.
Okay, good. Good. Excellent. I'm happy. Thank you.
Yeah, I always say ITS are the unsung heroes of the World Bank group.
I
So
agree. I agree.
I stand by that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And John, maybe if you could just agree on a queue. I don't know, because I see we have about 18 slides, right? So will you be saying next slides, or I'll just be listening in? And because I know your explanations can be a bit heavy. You're very technical. So just the queue for moving to the next slide.
You need to cram every word on this one.
Catherine,
Certainly.
I've never done this before. Catherine is always the master of this. So I talk and she does it. I don't know how to survive on that day.
Because we made the presentation together, so I know what you are talking about. I can go next without even you having to say anything. But now you are on your own with Vincent.
I will say next slide then. Next slide.
Perfect. Or you can just pause for maybe for 2 seconds, and then I will take it as your cue.
No, please say next slide.
Okay,
that can
cool.
get messy.
Or moving on or something, next slide sounds, okay, I don't know. Sounds like something which is not so obvious.
Okay.
Like moving on, next, yeah.
Or maybe the what you are going to talk about, they are in sequence. So if you are talking about the triple crisis, there are only 3. So it's very easy to move on, to move from one to another.
John, you can also be a presenter. You can try it now since we're already testing and see.
Yeah, why not?
It's very easy. Just click on the share icon. This is the 3rd one from the bottom, because this one will fix the payment.
After the video.
After the mute, after the video. Yeah. So you click on share. If your slide is open, it should show you as an option.
Okay.
Okay, I have 2 suggestions while John, you're figuring that out. One is you could add Catherine. I know she's your left hand. Right hand. Yeah, so in addition to Hudayfa, as we had discussed earlier, maybe you can add Catherine to that list, and she can sit in the back end with Vincent because she knows this. That's my first suggestion. My second suggestion is what was it? I just lost my train of thought here. I'll come back to it. But as to your first point on joining at 8, oh, sorry, now I remember what I was saying. So Catherine, maybe you can consider joining John at the office so you can help with this so that, we've invested a lot of time to make this work seamlessly. So you know the presentation inside out, so you can be the one to help him navigate so he doesn't have to worry about it. And then 2, what I've seen work with other teams as well is that they normally have a mock presentation. So you can present to Catherine maybe a week or so before the event, just to make sure that everything flows really well. And then last but not least, with regards to connection, I think for maybe ITS and the group job team, perhaps you can join the call or open the call at 8:15. Because if there are any issues, I foresee it being more a connectivity issue, then you have ample time to be able to resolve that.
Yes.
Even 8 o'clock can't be too early, just to make it perfect. If you log in at 8 and everything is working perfectly, you can go mute your camera, go have coffee, and then join us at 8:30. That's fine. But let's not take any chances. Over.
Vera, that's very much possible to have it as early as 8 a.m. That's fine for us.
Is that fine with you, Hassan and Mohammed?
Absolutely, yeah, I think so.
Yes, and then Hudayfa, you can just, make your way to the office pretty early. There are different protocols for accessing the building. So the earlier you are, the better as well.
That's perfect. Usually I'm always prepared an hour before, so I should be at your office at 7:30 or thereabouts.
Okay, excellent. Sounds.
So, sorry, I on your option of joining the office, I leave that to John. There is a protocol nowadays.
Yes, he has to get the permission from the powers that be. But we discussed that this morning, John.
Yes, we've discussed it, yes.
Yeah.
It will work, it will work.
I was just, John, I was just saying that you open the presentation from PowerPoint, then just move from one slide to another. You are doing it from your email, eh?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You see, that's why you need Catherine to be there. I rest my case. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like we've covered all the bases. Gupjog, do you have any questions? Are you happy?
Friend, I think we'll be happy. I have a question. I don't know if I missed if you mentioned it at the time. So you said that will be live in the studio for 8:55. So at what time we will end the program? I mean, how many hours will be online?
The event is 2 hours. It's from 9 o'clock to 11. So we'll be done at 11 o'clock on the dot, or before 11, Hudayfa will hand over to you so that, you know, he'll finish the program on our side and then hand over back to the studio so you can close.
That's great. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have a question.
Okay. I'm okay. I don't have any question.
Okay, thank you.
Where are the promotional video? When will you guys use it?
The sad bit is that we started promoting the launch yesterday. So I need to share it with you. It's in both Somali and English. It looks really, really nice. You'll be happy. But now the thing is that we need to edit it, the last part. And I think for the voiceover Wasame, we might need to have Hudayfa record a different date. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry. I mean, this weekend, Wasame, Hudayfa, and I had a very interesting weekend. But, you know, that can be done. Hudayfa, would you be okay with that? We might have to change that once we have a new date. So, John, we will rely on you and Catherine to let us know once we have a new date. And Wasame and Hudayfa will take care of that to change the video, and then they will share it with the Gobjog so that we can promote it again. As of now, we have to go to Twitter. Both Gobjog has to do this. I need to do this on our Twitter handle as well to let people know that the event has been postponed and to stand by for a new date. But the video has been live since yesterday. Yeah. So I'll share it with everybody on here via WhatsApp, so you can, you know, once it's ready, so that you can enjoy it. The one we have now has the wrong date.
So there are one question. I think the last time we talked about translation, so having a translator. So will this be happening in the background or it will be part of this process? I'm not clear.
Oh, so we are not able to have real-time translation because the event itself will be run in English. However, we are really, you know, privileged to have Ismahan, and Hudayfa himself speaks both English and Somali. So if there are any questions that are asked in in Somali. Ismahan will translate. She will be backed up by Wasame. And if need be, Hudayfa can also take those questions and translate them into English. Now, I foresee a situation where some of our senior government leaders, going by the last Somalia Economic Update we launched in Somalia, might want to speak in Somali, which then, will come live on WebEx. So we will let them speak. Hudayfa, you might need to manage this. If someone wants to speak in Somali, you'll have to let them know that because part of the audience speaks English, they would have to say what they need to say, maybe 1 or 2 sentences, allow for room for translation, and then another 2 or 3 sentences and allow room for translation. And the thing I know about Somali is that they can talk. So someone can make a comment for 5 minutes, and that becomes very difficult to translate in its entirety. So you'll have to manage that.
I would moderate that, but just a quick one. The real-time translation, in case we have one of the speakers who's speaking entirely in Somali, would be done by, in my understanding, Ismahan and assisted by Warsame, right?
Right.
In case we need a real-time translation. Yeah. All right, that's fine then. I just needed to confirm that.
Yes. So that's why we have Ismahan on board. I hope that answers your question.
It does.
Yes,
Thank
you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, if everybody is happy, I'm really happy that we were able to figure this out. I hope it works really well. From wherever I will be, I might just stay up late just to, log in and watch this baby of mine. But I know it will go well. You guys are a fantastic team. You have a great IT team. You couldn't ask for better. And, they'll go above and beyond to make sure this works. We have a good team from Gupjog, and then we have a great team of consultants to support us. So I think we have the grounds covered, and we also have enough time. If there are any questions or clarifications, we have another 2 weeks or so to be able to sort them out. So Wycliffe and Vincent, you'll get back to us once you sort the YouTube link to make sure that connectivity between Cisco WebEx and YouTube is seamless. There's no buffering. John, you will check with management and make sure that you get access for Hudayfa and Catherine. The sooner, the better. It's good to just have that approval at hand, even as we wait for the date to be confirmed. Wasame, you will work with me to edit the video. And then on my part, I need to make sure that I work with Eugenia to get Hudayfa's voiceover contract as well as the moderation contracts in place. If I've missed anything, please drop me an email or a WhatsApp and I'll be happy to take care of it. So with that, thank you all very much. Have a great rest of your week, and I'm happy to give you back exactly 32 minutes to get stuff done. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.